morning, and welcome to another episode of Hard Factor. It is Wednesday, November 13th, and today it's all stories for you, brought to you by you. It's Listener Submission Wednesday.
That's right. We're going to do all these stories in your voices, impersonating you.
Mm-hmm. But we don't know you, so
we're just going to give it a shot.
So my voice sounds a lot, imitating you sounds a lot like me.
Yeah, we're just going to sound,
Yeah.
You sound like
Right.
us.
You did this to you, remember that.
Right, I'm just going to do it in my own voice, but
Okay.
It's meta, bro.
all right, okay.
Pretty meta.
All right, let's kick it off. It's going to go me, Mark, Wes, and Pat. That's the order. So we got two apiece. All right.
Strong
so
order.
first,
I was last.
Yeah,
so
you're back
first up, Project Nightingale. All right, this was submitted by listener at XOXTina. So we're going to talk a little big data up front, but don't worry. This is a tech story that's super easy to understand. An anonymous whistleblower who works for quote unquote Project Nightingale
Badass name.
We'll talk more about the name later. Has published what looks like a kickoff deck, if you're familiar with that, or a PowerPoint explaining the project, like the intent of Project Nightingale.
They call it like a white paper, right?
In like the project management world, this would be a kickoff deck that's like explaining like how long the project's going to last, the goals of the project, like what's it going to cost, who's the team, etc.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
White paper is a business term for like a one-pager.
A briefing?
A different white paper is a different nerdy business paper.
Yep.
But basically, the intent of this project was to have Ascension, which is the U.S.'s second largest healthcare provider, migrate a bunch of data to Google so that they could exchange services. And the reason
That sounds great.
Right. So the reason that this is bad for both companies is because that goal of transferring health data for 50 million patients in 21 different states is illegal unless you transfer it properly, where you have to
wildly illegal.
Yeah, I sign something every time I go to the doctor's office about this.
That's a HIPAA violation.
If
I know my HIPAA violation.
That's right.
Correct. Pat, ding, 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 HIPAA violation. And actually, it gets even worse. Apparently, the alleged intent was to eventually use the data for profit. So Google would be able to perform analytics on it and then potentially sell directly to consumers the HIPAA data that they've collected from Ascension.
That's PHI, baby. Public health information.
What is this bullshit?
Is Nightingale like a Hunger Games reference? Those dweebs?
Right.
I think so, yeah.
What a bunch of dorks.
You know, if you never saw a Nightingale and you heard the name Nightingale, you'd be like, oh, that's a badass bird. Nope.
No.
Little fucker.
It's like a military mission.
Yeah.
They sound like,
That's exactly what I'm saying, Wes. Like, here's
Aren't they the
some
Christmas
unsolicited advice. Unsolicited advice for big data. Don't label your morally questionable projects with like shady Bond villain names.
Well, yeah.
But, Will, that's all you have. That's all you have when you're there. Is
Yeah.
if you're setting up projects and you're in like a fucking corporate job.
Project
cool
Dr.
project name.
Evil.
I'm going to call it,
Swoop in.
Yeah.
yeah, Project Stealth Cat.
Yeah.
It's going to be amazing. Yeah. Anyhow, I guess Ascension, like I said, they're the second largest healthcare provider in the country. We're probably trying to exchange this data for a sweet new deal on like an IT setup. So Google's providing probably all the infrastructure and the software, and they're going to get quicker healthcare data exchanges like between their hospitals or whatever. But in exchange, they were just going to let Google ransack that illegally aggregated data. So basically, both companies like knowingly planning to break the law and then profit from it.
Big companies are getting too strong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't like that. This is big pharma at its best. Big pharma.
This is big data, but yeah,
Big
not
data.
big
Well,
data.
data, the most valuable currency or like it's element in the world now.
So
data, yeah.
It's more valuable than diamonds.
So now I'll be on Google and they'll be like, "Do you need this antidepressant?"
Right. They'll send Pat herpes
Right,
cream.
exactly.
at
They'll know
ads.
exactly
Pat,
what you
do you
got.
need herpes cream again?
Yeah.
Lips herpes. It's different. It's a different type of herpes. But hold on. I wonder, like, I know that my dick's in the cloud, but
Yeah.
I don't want my medical dick in the cloud. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
well, it's illegal to put it
I
in.
want my- I want my, like,
they should keep that.
I want your DNA in the cloud.
I want my Saturday night dick with
Like-
the right angle. I don't want like my doctor taking photo dick.
Yeah, like your therapist's notes in the cloud.
Yeah, like
no,
when
you
I'm
don't
having
want that.
Yeah,
there's-
that's exactly what's being transferred.
no one's having a good dick day when the doctor's taking a picture of your dick. It's a bad dick day. It's
Yeah.
in the cloud now. Thanks, Google.
Depends on how
Thanks,
hot,
big data.
Depends on how hot your doctor
Don't
is.
like that.
Pat, this is really bad news for you because apparently this is just the first time Google's been caught, and they've already been doing this with smaller healthcare providers in the past. And the thing is this is potentially very illegal. So all the healthcare providers that signed up for this probably need to start lawyering up now because they're going to get fucked by somebody.
Class action.
They're not going to do it. Nothing's going to happen to them.
Now, something tells me Google will be just fine, but these mom and pop healthcare providers that have already done it with them, they're going to get run over.
Those are the ones I go to, too. The cheap ones.
Yeah.
Fuckers, man.
Well, that was a good story. Thanks, Xtina, for exposing the big companies. All right, this next one's coming from @Repub9989. Is that right? No,
Charles.
no.
Charles.
From Charles, our boy Charles, longtime listener Charles. Arkansas. This was Conway police officer in Little Rock, Arkansas, has been suspended after he was recorded dancing naked at a Little Rock nightclub in mid-October of this year. And this was the full Monty we were talking about, not just shirtless or just pantless, completely nude. Dancing at a public nightclub. Not a strip club.
Not a strip club.
Like a nightclub,
like a classy nightclub, like a Vegas nightclub.
That's where you and I have a different definition of what a classy nightclub is.
Are there any in Arkansas?
Coming from the guy with all the public health information we just talked about, I don't want to hear it.
You put me on blast. You're the one that got married in Vegas.
Yeah, I sure did.
You're like,
sure did.
Like a white
Classy
bastard.
one.
It was fun.
It was the whole mirage outside. It wasn't like Elvis' wedding. Anyways,
couldn't keep an eye on
Officer
Wes. Just worried about
Sabran
Wes the
Hackett.
whole
Yeah,
time.
probably shouldn't have invited Wes. Officer Sabran Hackett was suspended without pay for 30 days, and he also now has to complete remedial training. I'm not sure what remedial training entails, although I'm sure his class of all rookies and instructors will play the video of him dancing naked a few times to get a good laugh to break up the monotony.
I'm glad he's not fired, though. I'm glad he's not fired.
Well, he should have been if you've seen the video. It was outrageous. It was out-fucking-rageous.
What exactly happened? And how long was the video?
Well, the cell phone video is about 10 seconds. We'll get to it. So Hackett was off duty and absolutely hammered. The only reason he shouldn't be fired is because he was off duty, but he was absolutely annihilated when he removed all of his clothes off at the Discovery nightclub, and he started dancing to Don't Stop Believing by Journey, which is always hot fire when you're hammered, so I guess that makes sense. You know,
Can you blame the guy?
Yeah. But the hilarious cell phone video, which is about 10 seconds, shows Hackett completely naked with a blurred out crotch area, and he immediately stumbles backwards into a bar table and then bounces back onto the dance floor naked, and then a security guard tries to grab him, and he tries to swim move out of the security guard, and then he just slips on some beer and falls face first naked on the dance floor and is like crawling around the dance floor, and then the video ends. But apparently he got thrown out by two security guards, still completely naked out in the cold. The police chief Jody Spradlin wrote in a letter of suspension, a shame letter. He said, "Your actions have brought discredit and embarrassment upon the Conway Police Department and could have resulted in your arrest for public intoxication." They probably should have.
Right, Hackett, it sounds like he should have got that arrest.
Hackett also...
He's having the time of his life.
Yeah, they've got bigger fish to fry in the Conway Police Department.
Go ahead and get completely naked at a bar.
I've done it.
See what happens.
He's bouncing off the Red Bull tables like he's a fucking bumper
you
car.
see it.
I'm watching it, yeah.
Hackett also appears to be north of 300 pounds, guys.
Yeah, he's a big
boy.
Big tree fall hard. I bet the remedial training won't correct Habit's club behavior, which is not something I can actually bet on, but there are a lot of news stories I can bet on.
Yeah, he'll grow out of that.
Right? That was
what is the remedial training?
Segue to predict it, guys.
Here's what the training's going to be, Hackett. When at a club, don't get fucking naked and slip all over the floor.
Definitely not it's not a part of remedial.
No hard liquor anymore, Hackett.
So back to my segue to predict it. It's not something I can bet on, but what you can bet on is if you go to www.predictit.org/promo/hardfactor20, which is completely legal in all 50 United States, you can get a free $20 by going there, and you can bet on the news. Pat's made a few interesting bets this week that he showed me that I like. You want to talk about those?
Yes, I got real high last night and started cruising through Predicted. And a couple things I found that I really liked. What I was looking for is low-cost markets that I could get in on. And I found one that I love, which is the next White House cabinet member to leave. Okay, and in this market, you got Rick Perry, Mike Pompeo, Wilbur Ross, Mark Esper, etc. Here's what I know about Rick Perry. Texas boy, Secretary of Energy. He's literally, from an inside source, he's the only person in his office. Like when he showed up to work after Trump got elected, pretty much it was like Perry, and he's like, "Yeah, it's just me."
He's like environmental protection, right? Or what is he?
Yeah, he's the energy secretary.
Yeah.
But there's something else I know about Rick Perry. He ain't fucking leaving Washington. He's a guy that doesn't look a gift horse in the mouth. Though I bet that Rick Perry would not leave office next, and I got it at 10 cents. Through,
No is 10 cents.
Yeah,
so
he was the
he's a
favorite.
90-cent. Yes,
He was a 90-cent favorite.
Yeah, but I just feel like, you know.
What's your other one?
Well, my other one is pretty good too. It's who will be the Democratic vice president candidate.
Yeah,
and okay. So Klobuchar said something really interesting when she was running, which is like, I've won every race I've ran in, and I have that that Minnesota grit. And I thought to myself, that's not going to win the presidency, but that's attractive vice president.
I like
Klobuchar.
It. What was she at?
I think I got Klobuchar
7 cents a share, right?
Oh man, I got her at 7.
Yeah,
and
so-
she shot up today.
That is
you bought,
good.
Yeah, so you bought 7 cents a share, and you put in like $150.
I bought 1,500 shares.
Yeah.
I bought $105. It pays out $1,300.
So you put in $105 to win $1,300.
It's gonna happen. Klobuchar's
I
gonna
like
be
that bet a lot.
Wow.
All right, now
Nice.
let's move on to tip number 2 for November's predicted tips. I've said this before, but a reminder for longtime listeners and new tip for new listeners: you need to remove emotion completely and bet with your head, not your heart, on predicted. A lot of people get emotional and will swing a market one way or the other because they're betting on what they want to happen. This plays to your advantage because you will get a better value to buy into these markets. Classic example would be like the Trump impeachment markets. People hear some news on impeachment. They want it so badly. They bet, yes, you will get impeached in calendar year 2019 and move the market so that the yes is too expensive and the no's are cheap. And you can get in no at a good value because all these people are like, but I want him to be impeached. And they're not like realizing that there's only 40-something days left and it's just not going to happen in 2019.
Yeah. I don't know why, but short Rick Perry. There's no rhyme or reason there for me. Just
Right.
short him.
I disagree, but I like your Klobuchar bet.
Short
All right.
Rick Perry, baby.
See, I like the Rick Perry. I didn't like the Klobuchar.
All right, guys, this next one comes from Heart Hive member at ChrisZar96, who was born the year GoldenEye changed my life. Okay, finally, we've got a feel-good story involving Catholic priests for a change. Loving it. So
No way.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. Reverend Amal Sammy from the Archdiocese of Mobile, Alabama, in southwest Alabama, is due in court today after he allegedly tried to get a Carnival cruise masseuse to touch his cassock and balls back in August. Wait
That's
a minute.
not a feel-good story.
Well, it's better than
What's
a
it-
9-year-old
what-
boy.
I thought
What?
this was a good story. Oh, no, wait. It is a good story. The masseuse he molested was an adult female.
There you go.
Oh, so it's okay.
Oh,
yes.
So in comparison,
What's
Yes,
his,
score
did
one
you
for the
say
good
his
guys.
cassock?
That's
What is-
fine.
what is a cassock?
A cassock is a traditional priest garb. Will, I threw that was a little Catholic religion joke
you
for
think
you.
you brought it on the cruise ship?
Yeah, definitely someone who maybe served as an altar boy.
It's a
or drummer for the
Carnival cruise,
Cassicus.
right?
Well, hold on. And
Obviously, it's a Carnival cruise.
but I want to say
Was this guy a real priest?
he was a real priest. He's a real priest.
Wasn't just role playing with his wife?
Yeah.
Before you go passing judgment, I think it's important to point out that the priest was aboard, in fact, a Carnival Cruise Line fantasy ship.
Yeah. Has she never not been assaulted on a Carnival cruise?
Well, okay, yes, because on a Carnival cruise, placing your hand on someone's genitals is just how you greet a fellow guest. But usually you get eye contact consent's big on Carnival cruises. But he didn't get it. Witnesses say that Sammy intentionally exposed himself to the masseuse by removing his sheet during the massage, which brings me to a question for the Hard Factor boys. And I think I know what Will's answer is going to be. You guys go naked when you get a massage?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, if you get a nice massage, yeah.
I don't. I wear the undies.
Well, it depends.
Well, I mean, what's the point?
It depends on.
Well, what am I going to get, a hand job?
What's the
No,
point?
at a
I was
nice-
saying, like, they're not going to be able to like run their hands smoothly over the
if you're getting
underwear
a
line.
full body massage at a nice massage parlor, you go naked. Yes.
Yeah.
You ruin the whole lower back massage if you wear your fucking underwear.
I don't want to release whatever I got going down there smell wise and like also
Well,
just like,
shower a little bit.
Clean up before you go to the fucking massage.
They have
parlor.
showers there for that particular
What
reason.
are you kidding me?
You do it before you
You
go
got
in.
a stinky asshole when you go to the massage parlor?
in Canada they call it a
You got
washroom,
schmegma?
Yeah, the bathroom.
and it's just a fucking bathroom. I'm not a fan.
Yeah.
I don't know, guys. I'm just
Okay.
like every time I'm getting a massage, I'm like, I'm not here for a hand job. That's what I want to say.
It
that.
works
Yeah,
way
they
better
know.
if you
They
just
know.
take the
I don't know that
underwear
they
off.
know.
They fold the towel over. Your junk never really gets exposed. They just go
Yeah,
through your
it's
thigh.
always under a towel.
Anyway, guys, Sammy denies any wrongdoing, saying, quote, considering my profession, this sexual assault could have been way more messed up. Cut me some slack.
He didn't say
No,
that.
he didn't say that. He does deny wrongdoing, though.
All right.
All right, guys. This one comes to us from at Mr. Baker. And it was confirmed. We kind of touched on this last night, but we didn't cover it. But it was confirmed. Imagine this, guys. It's a sunny day in Los Angeles. You and a couple of friends are laughing together as you walk down the busy street,
Sounds
having
nice.
just finished some delicious Thai food near the Walk of Fame.
Go on.
When all of a sudden, as you get into your car, a homeless man approaches you. Now, you might think he'll simply ask you for money or mutter something about his ex-wife, but instead, He changes your life and dumps weeks worth of hot homeless diarrhea on your head.
What?
Yeah.
What did you say?
Yeah.
Hot?
How is it hot?
Yeah.
Because it was warmed by the LA sun.
Does he have a microwave?
Oh, come on.
Sitting out in the sun?
Yeah.
What is a hot diarrhea?
So it was outdoor temperature diarrhea.
Listen to this.
So he didn't warm it up.
Yeah.
Why is it hot?
Yeah. It's hot.
His diarrhea's hot.
Once you discover it's diarrhea, the first thought that goes through your head is, why is it hot?
Is I
Right.
wish this diarrhea was cold.
Yeah. So
Some asshole heated this diarrhea up.
right.
Fuck.
Yeah. The old diarrhea warmed by the hot LA sun drips down your eyelashes, down your face, over your lips, into your mouth, and then you realize, oh my God, this is diarrhea of a homeless man, and I'm gonna die.
Oh, my God. I would want to die.
Yeah, well, my friends, that's exactly what happened to Heidi Van Tassel, and for good reason, she is scared from the event. Here are some of real gems of quotes from the woman. Number one, it was all inside my car because it was so much. He just kept pouring it and splattering it all over me.
Oh,
It's something I won't ever forget. It's disgusting. The PTSD that I'm dealing with is beyond anything that I've ever felt.
Oh, my God.
There needs to be some kind of help for victims of these crimes. I will never, ever forget his face.
What do you mean
Victim singular.
Victim of his
Me. For me.
By the way, fresh diarrhea, not hot.
No, it was warmed up.
Oh my God.
by
What
the
did she
sun.
do?
That's
I'm
bullshit.
thinking like over an oil drum or something.
Nah.
She said
Campfire.
she said the attack left her with mental issues, saying that it was traumatic. It was so awful, it changed my life.
Yeah.
When
It's
paramedics
gonna be hard to trust people
What-
again
yeah.
when you get hot diarrhea pouring on you.
You're hard to
You're
walk.
always looking over your shoulder.
Hard to walk down the street. When paramedics arrived, they confirmed that the homeless man, identified as Jeer Blessings, must have been saving his excrement for a long time.
She was the one.
Yeah, just waiting for the wrong person to rub him the wrong way.
God.
Swear to
And
God.
Heidi Van Tassel was that person.
I swear to God. I swear to God.
So was her
I
like
swear to
car
God.
window down?
Holy
I think her door was just open. She'd just gotten in, and he just attacked her. So, but this is fucked up. So this is like a string of like violent attacks that is, on the rise in LA with homeless people. It's gone up from like 7,000 of these incidents in 2017 to 9,000 in 2018. Many, of course, are suffering from mental illness or drug addiction, but apparently it's becoming a real problem as demonstrated by this event.
It's a good thing that the homeless
That-
don't have the internet, because if they
Hot diarrhea should be, you're allowed to kill the person.
Yeah, you need to be put away for a long time for the hot diarrhea.
Oh, it gets better.
The retaliation for hot diarrhea should be maiming for life.
well, you know how we don't say the name of mass shooters on this show because we're not going to give them the press. I'm worried that the homeless are going to go to the library tomorrow to check their email, and they're going to see this hot diarrhea story and realize how effective of a weapon it is.
To
get notoriety?
It's
Yeah,
gonna,
it's fucked
gonna
up.
get some politicians on the, in the fucking.
And now I have a new term for when something's the worst. That's a real
Well, anyway.
that's a real bowl of hot diarrhea.
Yeah. Anyway, this woman is being monitored for just about every disease known to man. And guess what? Jeer Blessings is back on the streets. He was released because he just can't keep him in jail for being crazy, I guess. And I'm staying the fuck away from L.A. as long as this guy is breathing free air. So, again, at Mr. Baker, thank you
Oh
for
my
that
God,
one.
so he was released. Hey, Austin
He's-
boys, aren't you a little glad they got rid of that tent rule down there?
He started
Little
a new
happy about
bucket.
that?
I've gotten in 2 confrontations with homeless people in my yard that have been like sleeping in my yard in the past month.
They set up a field, Will. There's a field now.
There's a
I'm
field.
swimming.
instead of
I'm
tents.
swimming in homeless
Okay.
people. I'm at moments away from hot diarrhea at any point.
How mad are you if you're the woman and you get hot diarrhea thrown on you, and that in turn gives you diarrhea?
I mean, it would make me throw up
Yeah.
immediately.
Oh yeah,
It'd be
bro.
violently.
You'll never. You got to
violently
sell
ill.
that car.
Yeah,
somewhere.
you're selling the car.
You just drive it into a river and
Anyway,
drown yourself.
just the thought of hot diarrhea running down your mustache brings me to Movember. Barstool is proud to be working with Movember to raise funds and awareness for men's health. Movember is the leading charity dedicated to changing the face of men's health around the world. This Movember, whatever mustache you grow will save a bro.
You don't have to
support
say
wo-
mustache. It's mustache and then Mo for short.
I like mustache.
Whatever
Will.
mo you grow will save a bro. Your support will change the face of men's health, raising awareness and funds for prostate cancer, testicular cancer, mental health, and suicide prevention. Maybe Jeer Blessings will get some help from.
Why didn't we end with that story?
Because I just wanted to keep everyone involved.
How do we go on from here?
I don't know.
I'll tell you how you go on. Are you done with the Movember?
No,
read?
No, I
you
gotta keep going.
finish November.
Don't forget Mo Sisters. You can participate in Movember too if you want to. This year's Barstool's own Donnie Does is growing his Mo to save a bro. Join him on the Barstool Movember team and help us change the face of men's health. For every $50 that you fundraise on our team, you get an entry to win a trip for two to join us at the Army vs. Navy live college football show in December. Head to Movember.com/Barstool to join our team, grow your mustache, and fundraise for your chance to win the grand prize. So grow that mustache, donate, and you can win that free trip.
Because that's a real word. All right, I'll tell you how we can move on from diarrhea, hot diarrhea. Let's talk about some insane Ugandan chimps. All right, this was submitted by listener A Hungry Ginger on Instagram, and
What's
it's
up, Taylor?
pretty crazy. What's that? I didn't hear it.
Oh no!
I said, "What's up, Taylor?"
What's the story, baby?
Yeah. Okay. So chimps in Uganda are so angry about losing their habitat to humans, mostly from farming. So the jungle is being taken away by farmers. That they are literally now attacking and killing human children.
Oh.
Yeah, chimps. The most
will
like
fuck you
human ape. Yeah.
Why are because they're starving?
They hate
No,
farming.
They're getting
encroaching on
their
their habitat.
forest taken away by the farmers.
Yeah.
Remember when that chip ripped that lady's hands off?
So it's like
revenge.
Planet of the Apes the movie, literally.
Pretty much, yeah. One particular story was highlighted by the National Geographic recently, and it was a chimp. What happened was the mom was gardening, and basically the chimp walked up when she turned her back, stole one of her children from the front yard, ripped the kid's arm off, and then ripped its kidneys outside of its body. And so the kid, he obviously died from that, an insanely grisly death. And that's just one of 3 children in Uganda who have been murdered by chimps since 2014, with 6 more barely surviving.
You got to think that's learned behavior. You
Can
got to
we
think that's not instinct.
Can
right?
we send this homeless guy over to Uganda?
One bad chimp was like, yeah, you do.
Cut down my tree, I'll rip your kid's arms off.
Mm-hmm.
That would be a good use for the homeless. Just make them into a chimp fighting army.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like look, I don't like this story because I don't like children getting hurt, but I do like a foe that's a worthy foe. I do like the idea of a war between the chimps and the people because that's gonna be a strong war.
They sound like they're a worthy foe.
Yeah, Planet of the Apes, like Mark said. Yeah, like I said, that's the 3rd child who's died, and killing chimps in Uganda is technically illegal, but apparently people are still killing them, considering that they kill your children if you live near them. So
That's a law you kind of like don't enforce at this point.
No.
I don't know what Uganda's like, but I would I just imagine that it's like Alabama. I hope it's like the deep south of the United States.
Yeah,
America.
similar. A lot of
Because-
like red dirt roads.
Because
I've
you're a
been to
fucking
both.
dead chimp if you're a chimp in Alabama.
Yeah.
If this is happening in America.
Yeah, you got to kill these chimps.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know Will was going to do the killing chimp story right before my story, which pales in comparison. It's another wildlife story, but not quite as cool. It's a nightmare Thanksgiving scenario for residents of an Ocean County elderly community. It's like a 55 and up community, as they are being attacked by a rafter of wild turkeys. That's a group of turkeys, a rafter.
That's where I'm from.
How many turkeys
That's
make
what
up
I
a
asked.
rafter?
I have this in here. Are you from Tom's River?
I'm from one town away.
One town away. And then Cherry Hill's next to that too, right? Yeah. I am Cherry Hill.
I am Cherry Hill.
So yeah, Pat, this is a story right up your alley. Famous Major League Baseball player and all pro Todd Frazier's also from Tom's.
Didn't know that. I know that Tom's River won the Little League World Series in like 2000.
Todd Frazier's probably on that team.
Oh man,
He's
a
33.
sweet team.
Yeah. So yeah, he's from there, and he's actually affected by it. He's a big part of this story. He's pissed. He tweeted Sunday morning a photo of his black Jeep surrounded by the wild turkeys, and he said, "I have seen the reports about wild turkeys in Tom's River. They're a big problem here in Tom's River, and the Tom's River wildlife say they can't move them. That's ridiculous. They have come close to harming my family and friends, ruined my cars, trash my yard, and much more." And it's just a picture of like 8 wild turkeys surrounding his Jeep.
This guy is such a bitch when it comes to the chimp story.
So- Yeah, I mean, don't they have shotguns?
Yeah, we've covered these wild, aggressive turkeys, and I don't see it's like
that's my point. It's
fucking
Are
kill these.
they ripping children's arms off?
I'd like to say it is very close to Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
How about you just kill the fucking turkeys and roast them, fry them,
feed them to
put them
Jeer
in the
blessings.
oven? It sounds like free Thanksgiving in Tom's River. It doesn't sound like that big a problem.
Right, just make a deal with your neighbors. Hey, nobody calls the cops when we shoot a turkey in the neighborhood.
Right. This could go from a problem to a blessing.
He does sound like a real bitch when there's like chimpanzees doing amateur surgery on children in Uganda.
But they're biting people.
Yeah, this is a real first world problem.
Snap their fucking necks and cook these turkeys.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's basically the story.
All right, guys.
You're not allowed to do anything. Oh, here's the last part. Sorry, Pat. Animal control. Animal control, who's been called to action by Todd Frazier and the residents, can't do anything because animal control can't deal with wild animals.
Tell you what, this happened to me when I was living in New Jersey. A pheasant flew into our
The whole
backyard.
fucking reason.
Same deal. We had to call our neighbors, and they like ran around with a sack for an hour chasing this pheasant because animal control.
Animal control only does domestic animals.
They don't do foxes?
No, they just
Wait,
steal
why did you
people's
have to
pets.
get the pheasant out of your
I
yard? What
knew
was it,
you'd
like
say
a
that
threat
shit.
to you?
Well, I don't know. We were living in New Jersey at the time. My
It's a
father's
fucking
Buddhist.
bird. It's like a tiny bird. It's like a small peacock.
Pheasants.
It was dangerous. It had
No.
A real nuisance.
You haven't met a New Jersey pheasant. They're an attitude. All right, guys. This one's from Hardo Hive member and dog lover at Vinny Vici. So underscore. Then this next story could be happy or sad depending on how you look at it. But either way, it most certainly reinforces the age-old adage that not all pit bull owners are pieces of shit, but all pieces of shit are or aspire to be pit bull owners.
That was a brain puzzler.
Yeah, think about it.
very true.
Not all people that own pit bulls suck, but all people that suck want or own pit bulls. Think about it.
Okay.
I agree with you 100%.
Yeah, so a Washington, D.C. man was walking his dog, a red-nosed pit bull, in northeast D.C. on Saturday afternoon when a man driving a burgundy 2017 Kia Forte pulled up beside him and asked if he was selling the dog.
Well, that's when any... I hate when people do
You
that.
selling that dog?
I hate when
Somebody
people do
rolls
that.
up on you like, yo, can I get your dog off you?
Yeah, because I want to use it for nefarious purposes and like, can I buy your pet from you?
Are you
let me get
selling
that dog, man?
Yeah, are you selling your dog is a totally normal question.
Will
to ask
had
a
that.
stranger.
Will had that a few times when we moved to Austin and lived in a shitty neighborhood. He had people asking how much his boxer cost.
How much?
Yeah.
How much is that
How much?
sweet boxer?
Yeah.
That dog.
And they would always see his nuts. They'd be like, oh, man, he's
Yeah.
got nuts still.
Right.
Price
The
goes up.
The bigger the nuts, the more they wanted to pay. It's like, no, that's my fucking pet.
It's commonplace in D.C. as well. Anyway, being that the man had taken his dog out for a regular walk and not a sale walk, he said no.
Right.
And kept walking with his pup.
No, I'm good.
Wasn't on an auction wall.
Yeah. No, you see this leash? It's just a regular walk. The driver of the Forte and another suspect must have really been in the market for a used dog because they continued to follow the man, eventually opening the car door and asking if they could see the dog.
I hate this.
Now, as someone who's had a couple bicycles stolen in my life, I can tell you this. When a suspicious stranger asks you if they can see a thing, they don't mean just for a minute. They mean see it forever.
Right.
They mean they're going to steal it from you.
Can I see it?
Yeah, let me see that.
Can I see it?
Can I see that dog?
Let me see your watch real quick.
Yeah. Like our friend Armando, who had his moped stolen from
Yeah,
Bear.
someone asked him to see it.
Hey, can I see-
Bear. First of all, he trusted Bear to see it.
Can I see your moped real quick? Gone. All right, anyway, apparently the dog hadn't yet learned this lesson because he walked over to the driver of the Kia, at which point the other suspect took out a silver handgun and he really popped the clutch on the dog owner, saying, "It's our dog now."
Jeez. That'll make it feel like a bitch.
Yeah, and then the driver scooped
You don't
up.
expect that from a Kia.
No, this is our dog now.
It steals your dog from you.
Most Kia owners,
So helpless.
most Kia owners don't pull this move.
Well,
Pretty responsible, usually.
The dog doesn't know any better. He walked over to the fucking car.
Yeah.
Anyway, they scooped up the dog, and now they're the proud new owners of the used dog.
Wow.
And they drove away.
That
that's
dog's
fucked
a
up.
fighting dog now.
Or, bait dog something. All right, guys. This one comes to us from Mr. Dennis at Dennis PRHS, whatever that stands for. In a clear sign that 89-year-old Clint Eastwood is 89 years old, maybe losing his self-preservation, mentality. The movie legend defied direct orders to evacuate the Warner Brothers Burbank lot due to a brush fire that started close by called the Barham Fire.
Clint Eastwood doesn't give a shit.
No.
I ain't leaving. So in an Instagram post, Scott Eastwood, the legend's son, said, quote, "Security told us to evacuate the studio, but my 89-year-old father said, no, we're good. There's work to be done.
Oh, yes. That is some old school American shit. Laughing in the face of death is the only way that Clint Eastwood can feel feelings.
Refuses to leave from a fucking fire.
Well, he's been at Warner Brothers probably 65 years. That's his home.
He's also a veteran. I don't know if we mentioned him in the surprise veterans.
Oh, big time.
We did, yeah.
Yeah. So then
there's work to be done.
His son said that we then went into the mixing stage and all watched his new movie. As he would say, "Get back to work and shut up." And then, by the way, he added it was a Saturday. So maybe Clint Eastwood hold up in the spot that he likely would not mind dying and is not the best guy to listen to in the face of a dangerous fire.
Also, I hate to do it, but I got to tamp down the badassness of this. There was no home evacuations ordered for that area.
No,
so
it wasn't
basically
mandatory.
It was just Warner Brothers telling him to leave.
89 years old.
The fire department didn't
but we can
order it.
assume if the building was literally on fire, he still wouldn't have
He was
left.
fucking dirty Harry Will. Can we
No,
let him
you
have this?
can't assume that at
Can
all.
Can we let him have this one?
Everyone
I think
else was
so.
leaving.
Can we let him have this?
He's
Yeah,
working on
sure.
his
They were leaving
last
because
movie.
it was like a Saturday. They didn't want to work.
In
Clint Eastwood just doesn't have anything else to do.
55 years will come ruin your day.
Well, did you see the mule? He has to make up for that shit show. He would have gone down.
Garbage.
The mule was hot garbage. He played such a fucking cuckold.
Hang it up, Clint. Directing, but not being a badass.
Yeah.
He's a legend, and he can do what he wants.
Absolutely legend, but
He is
I'm
a
just,
legend,
this time,
All right,
not like
and that's
Dirty
gonna-
Harry.
Yeah, and that's going to do it for Hard Factor. Thank you for listening. Let us know what you think about this show. We will continue to do it if you like it. I thought it went pretty well. It was fun.
He means the listeners.
The listeners submitted show.
Not the show in
not
general.
the show in general. Not Hard Factor
We'll
in general.
continue to do it unless one comment says we shouldn't. Then we'll shut
If
the
you tell us
podcast
to
down.
shut it down, we will. No, the listeners submitted stuff. I think it was awesome. I think it was a lot of fun.
Can you apologize to my mom about the diarrhea story? Because I think she.
Apologize to everyone.
I'm sorry, everyone, if you're eating breakfast while you were listening to that. I'm sure it was not pleasant.
We want to do this every Wednesday, right? If
Every
people like it.
Wednesday. Yeah, we'll announce it again, and then we'll get some more stories. I thought it was a lot of fun.
You pick the show. It's like choose your own adventure.
Exactly. Don't forget, we've got that Good Boy shirt. We got some other merchandise.
We got shirts.
It helps us.
Don't forget we got shirts.
Follow us at Hard Factor News.
Wes is a father.
That's right.
Help him
Help me.
and us.
I want to quit my day job very badly. All right, guys, that does it. Anything else?
Yeah, most importantly, follow
importantly.
at Barstool News Network as well because we're posting a lot of stuff from there too now.
Yes.
At Barstool News Network.
That's right. All right, guys, have a great fucking day.